Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Brad with Spike Fitness, and it is Saturday, which means it's time to catch up on some gym stuff. I did not get to the gym yesterday, and I did not squat the way that I should have squatted. Well, I didn't squat at all, and I could have, I should have, I just didn't. I was tired, and I sat around longer, and the more I sat around, the more I didn't feel like going and training, so I didn't train. So today, I'm going to try to make up some training, get my squat workout in, and if it's not too crazy bad, maybe a little bit of benching as well. I think here starting pretty soon, I'm going to have to shift up my priorities in terms of how I train, kind of getting away from the real bigger, heavier lifts and start dealing with stuff more in the rep range of, sixes, and just kind of stay there to try to maintain as much strength as I can versus, going real heavy. And then I'm going to have to start running more. I haven't ran too much in the last couple of weeks, but I'm definitely going to have to pick it up and get myself prepared because, the time where I'm going to be taking the task on my run and all that stuff's coming up. So I can't really afford to keep putting it off. So I'm going to have to kind of buckle down and focus on that. So priority for training is going to have to change a little bit. So I'll get into some squatting today, just see how it feels. In my head, I'm thinking 500 for some reps, and I don't know, see how it feels. It's pretty hot outside today, so I don't know how much I'll be able to sustain or not, but we're going to give it a whirl. So here we go.
And we're going to do a little voiceover here. So we got the squat workout going back from a few weeks ago, and I'm just trying to get caught up with some material, and it's been a little while since we've done a voiceover, so here we go. I'm going to start out here in the garage working with just the bar. I have my Texas squat bar, which is a 55-pound bar, and it's what I predominantly use to do my squatting with. I just like the way that it feels because it's a bigger, thicker, heavier bar, and so it just behaves on the back a little bit differently than other bars. And so it's just nice to have a little bit of practice with that bar. As you can see, I'm getting set up with a kind of a high bar stance and just working through some range of motion type stuff with just an empty bar. And then moving into 135, typically what I do here when I warm up is just kind of go, plate jumps and get myself moving, try to go through range of motion and feel my body just kind of, going through the squat itself. You can see me just kind of playing with my stance, playing with my grip. And you guys will notice my hands kind of moving in different positions, just because I'm trying to warm up my shoulders and trying to just feel as primed as I can to squat. So you'll kind of see hand position move around, things like that, but just performing a number of reps, range of motion. It's kind of typically what I do. Going in for 225, still you can kind of see the hands a little bit close there. And just kind of getting into more of the warm up. So for building up to my working sets, the plan was 5x5 with something like 500-ish. So here being 235, I'll typically do 5-6 reps, something to that effect, and just kind of go through full range of motion, feel it in the bottom, and kind of feel myself bouncing out. And this is just kind of my opportunity to go through the entire range of motion and just feel my body and feel how this is going to work out. Up to 315, get set. Nothing too hard there. Got my knee wraps up so that I can kind of feel the support of the knee wrap and just feel that warmth kind of happening. A couple reps with 315, and starting at about 315 is when I start to limit the reps. I start doing kinds of twos or even singles up to my working weight, because essentially as I build up to working weight, I don't want to wear myself out. This is a side shot. I assume is probably 415, but I don't know for sure. Should be about 415. I think I hit this for about a single or so. And as I just mentioned before, just kind of building myself up to what the working weight is, and slowly but surely feeling more weight on my back and just feeling how my body responds to it. So, the majority of the rep work is done very, very light, and I slowly build up with the actual weight. And really, the build up with weight is more about feeling the increase of weight versus trying to bang out a bunch of reps. So, like I mentioned, the preponderance of my rep work is done with 315 or below. And then above that, I usually feel pretty warm, and most of those reps that I do above 315 are usually only a single or so as I move up to whatever that working weight is going to be for the workout. So here I think we are up to working weight should be about 505, and I believe I'll hit this one for a single just to test it out and see how it feels. There we go. Oh. 2, 3. So I lied to you. This is actually going to be the first working set of my working sets. So hitting 505, 5x5, and everything felt pretty good this day. I remember this workout actually distinctly. It's one of the last workouts I had before I tore whatever it was I tore in my groin. So it's kind of the last little successful gym session that I'd had in a little while. And so yeah. But yeah, these sets here, dealing with the 505. The 505 isn't terribly taxing as a weight itself. It's something that I'm fairly comfortable with, and just working on some reps, in that five range, just trying to build some strength and build some endurance to that kind of weight, and working through reps. One thing that I've noticed for myself more than anything else is I don't tend to sustain rep work very, very well. So I see other guys, other lifters, performing rep work with 600, things like that. And while I'm capable, in some instances, some of the same individuals, I'm capable of squatting as much as they are, I don't tend to work at the same volume of rep range that they tend to work with. So maybe that's something that I need to work on kind of going forward. As you can see, the garage was mad hot, and so I closed up the garage. I think I actually opened up the door to the house to try to let a little bit more of the cooler house air in, and peeled the shirt off, and I got my fan in front of me trying to stay cool, because the heat was just pretty intense that day. And it's pretty hard and pretty grueling to get out in the garage and train that hard with that much heat and just dripping sweat the way that I was. I found it to be pretty miserable. This should be, I think, the third set or so with 505. And again, pretty happy. I'm really happy with my overall depth. I try to make sure that I kind of sink my squats, kind of leaving no doubt about whether or not I'm hitting my depth. And I tend to try to utilize that full rebound as well. So some people try to kind of cut those squats a little bit short and feel them out a bit. And, that can be a hit and miss type of a game. And I try not to play too much with that. So when I do my squats, I try to very much make sure that I bury my squats so that I'm not leaving any question. And that's one thing that I've kind of always said open and publicly, is that, as a competitive squatter, if you are on the platform and you're leaving the decision up to the judge, you're wrong. So a lot of that starts in the gym, and when you're alone and training and making sure that you're trying to, hit that good solid depth. I've always found much more success, as I mentioned, with hitting that true, real deep squat and getting that full muscle rebound versus trying to feel the depth and cutting those squats like right at depth. That's always been super difficult for me and something I've not tried to play with. And on some of these, I think that you can kind of see I'm feeling that a little bit. I think that first rep, I was trying to feel that depth a bit, whereas the next couple of reps, I just kind of bang this out and just kind of hit that stretch reflex, hit it and go. So that's pretty much kind of what I aim to do here. And then wrap that up. And take time for a quick popsicle break. Now, the popsicle break actually took place after working sets. I did a couple extra reps with, I think, 315. You can see that on the bar there. And I was just doing some extra volume work on the backside of it, but I wanted to take a popsicle. This is one of my favorite popsicles in the whole wide world, is a Bomb Pop. And it reminds me of being a kid going to the golf course with my dad. He used to get me Bomb Pops. So those are still kind of a staple of mine whenever I have popsicles. I enjoy them immensely. Give me a thumbs up if you like Bomb Pops. And then last working set, changed the camera angle for a front shot. And I think in this one too, I had my daughter come in, help me out, and do a little filming on my phone, and give me a little bit of motivation. It usually helps having people around me. I usually feel a little bit more motivated and energetic. And so even just having my daughter there watching and filming kind of fired me up a bit too and got me going. So this particular set felt easier, I think, than the last couple of sets, just because I wasn't by myself. So, and you guys that are out there that train by yourselves, sometimes filming your sets or even just having someone just be there and kind of hang out with you can make a big difference. Anyway, I appreciate you guys checking this one out.
Wow. All right, so wrapping up the workout, I got it in. Did squats today because I didn't do them yesterday. Worked up to 505. So I had a 55-pound squat bar and 5 plates on each side, so 505. And got 5 sets of 5 reps done. And I'm kind of limited here at the house because I don't have a lot of other stuff to do leg work with. And there are some things that I could do, but it's just way too hot to try to be creative and burn myself out too much more. It's I don't know what the temperature is. I think heat index is well over 100, so I'm sweating like crazy and just trying to fight dehydration and exhaustion. So I'm gonna pull up stop for that for today, and I'll push off doing any bench stuff until tomorrow. I still got to get out and mow the lawn yet and do some other like house chore type stuff. So I'll be plenty drained by the end of the day. A little quick pro tip though. One of the things that I really like, especially when training real hard and it's gonna be hot, is using thermotabs. It's a buffered salt supplement. There are a number of different brands. You can find them all over the place. You find them on Amazon. A lot of times you can walk into Walmart and find these. I think Amazon has some pretty good prices for several boxes of them. It's 100 tabs per bottle, and it is chloride as sodium and potassium chloride, sodium as sodium chloride, and some potassium as potassium chloride. So each tablet contains about 452 milligrams of sodium chloride, and then it has some other stuff in there, some magnesium and some other minor stuff, but essentially it's one of those things that I like to have, bump up my salt, a day before I know I'm going to be doing some really rigorous training, especially in the heat, and that'll help me kind of retain my electrolytes a little bit better, so I don't dehydrate as quickly, I don't cramp as much. Introducing these into my workouts really made a difference with muscle cramping for me, and for a number of other people that I've spoke to as well. So if you're an individual that has to train in the garage or has to train in kind of in a hot gym and you suffer from cramps quite a lot when you train, try something along these lines, or whatever you can get your hands on, and let me know what you guys think. They've made a big difference for me. I'd like to hear if other people use stuff like this as well, and if you are, what kind of brand you're using, and whether or not it made much of a difference for you or whatever. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm going to wind things down for the day. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the chat box below. I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm always trying to grow, so I appreciate everyone that's jumping on board to the channel. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's it, guys. Remember, no matter what it is you think you can't do, like train outside in hellish heat, train despite. You can find an excuse, or you find a way, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.